Here's my review of Ballad of a Small Player. Unfortunately, I found this movie to be kind of just bland and boring, which is unfortunate because I think that visually this is a gorgeous movie. I think there's a lot of beautiful visuals. I think that the performances are great. Colin Farrell is fantastic in this movie, and all the other performances are very good. Just the story here is just not that interesting. Like, Colin Farrell plays a high stakes gambler who's offered a chance to basically make a lot of money because he has a bunch of past debts, and it sounds like it could be very interesting. But for me, I just I didn't hate watching it, but I was just pausing this movie a lot to see how much longer is left because I just found it to be bland. I think like I said though, there's still a lot to like here. Colin Farrell's performance is fantastic. I think that he is great in this movie, as are a lot of the actors in this movie, and I think his character is interesting, but just the story and the way it's told, I just didn't really like that much. It just wasn't that fun. I did like seeing though, like it was almost like this depressing movie in many ways because we're seeing Colin Farrell's character just slowly he's almost descending into madness. So much gluttony in this movie that it just makes you sick. It's just so weird because I think every frame of this movie just pops with color, but just there's just not that much substance here, at least for me. Like, I thought that visually it looked great, but just the story is just lackluster. But I do want to give props and give credit where credit is due. I think that the final 10, 15 minutes of this movie I really liked. Basically when he's just fully snapped and he just doesn't care anymore. He's just gambling as much as he can. I think that it's just beautiful to watch. I think that from the sound to the editing, it just makes just a game of this gambling game so intense, and you just want to see how it ends. And I really did like the ending here. It's so much of this, the whole ending I think of this movie is just gorgeous in terms of everything visually. And I thought that from a story point, I will say the movie as a whole feels hollow, but the ending, the final 15 minutes, I thought were genuinely pretty good and just thrilling. I wish that this final 15 minutes is what the whole movie is like. That's kind of what I thought it was going to be like, almost like this gambling addict movie, which it kind of is, but just it's not as engaging as it was here because this game that he plays at the end is just I'm in. I want to know what's going to happen. And like I said, I will give it credit because I was genuinely really engaged at the end of this movie. But I don't think that makes up for what was otherwise a lackluster first 2/3, really 3/4. Because this movie, I don't even know if it's 2 hours, but it's really just the final 15 to 20 minutes that I really enjoyed. Outside of the visuals and some brilliant performances, I just don't really think that there's much here. But that's just my opinion, and that's the problem. Is that's why this review is so short. Is just because it just there's just not much to talk about. I just thought it was kind of boring for the most part. Outside of the last 15, 20 minutes, I thought were great, or at least pretty good. But for the most part, I think that this was a pretty bland and mediocre movie, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate because, like it says right here, Edward Berger, director of All Quiet on the Western Front, I thought the movie was great. But, oh well. So yeah, it's not a terrible movie in the last 10, 15 minutes. Make it... I wouldn't really recommend watching this movie, but I will say the last 10, 15 minutes make it from just being outright terrible, in my opinion. But it's not a good movie for me. I did not really enjoy it, which is unfortunate because I thought it looked good. But yeah, I would not recommend this movie.